There is unity to be found in our diversity. This is a major tenet of our denomination. It's a major tenet of Christianity. The Apostle Paul said, in Christ there is no east or west. And I don't know if you remember, Jesus prayed a prayer that they may all be one. Today is largely about finding common ground. It's a wonderful book. It's called The Spiritual Heritage in the Human Race. And in it, the author says, without dialogue among the peoples of the world, ignorance and prejudice cannot be overcome, and mutual understanding will not be achieved. As a way to create the space for the dialogue, and in an effort to encourage understanding and unity among all God's children, the World Religion Sunday was created back in 1950. The idea is, and you can see what you think, but the idea is that many of the spiritual principles underlying the major religions are in harmony with each other. One of the areas in which they appear to lie is in how we are called to treat our fellow human, our brothers and sisters, our neighbor. And so we begin today with a brief discussion, a discussion of each of the religions that we have depicted for you today. And the representative from the adult Sunday school class will read a neighborly love quote from each religion. And then we'll talk a little bit more from a Christian perspective. And you know we're about to do some serious study when the pastor puts on his reading glasses. You may have noticed that the religions are displayed in here chronologically, with the oldest ones in the far back and the newest ones in front. And so we're going to start with that one back there. Everybody turn around and look at that one in the far corner. That one is, and everybody say it together, Hinduism. Yeah, I didn't know either. That's Hinduism. That's what that represents. So you can think India when you think of Hinduism. It's practiced by about 1 billion people. It's the oldest surviving religion, and it began around 2000 BC. Meditation and yoga are two of the practices that have found international appeal. Most Hindus, as I said, live in India. This religion includes hundreds of gods and goddesses. There's no central authority, so the faith is very diverse in Hinduism. It focuses on an individual pursuit of liberation from the cycle of life and death, because they believe in reincarnation. So they want to be liberated from that cycle of life and death. There is a trinity in Hinduism, interestingly enough, comprised of the most renowned three gods, Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. And the sacred cows in Hinduism are actually sacred cows. Hi. Why, thank you very much. It's important to share, right? Loving your neighbor. I wonder whose daughter that is. Which is cute. Anyway, the sacred cows in Hinduism are what? Sacred cows. Many Hindus are vegetarian because they believe the cows are sacred. Your karma is the sum of your actions. You hear people talking about karma? It might be what they're talking about. Good actions produce good karma and favorable rebirth. Bad actions result in bad karma and unfavorable consequences in your next life. Maybe you'll come back as a worm or something, who knows. Between lifetimes, sinners can spend time in a hell-like place of punishment that is called Naraka. So Naraka is ruled by Yama, the god of death. There are actually 28 named hells in Hinduism. 28 different hells, depending on the sins you committed most. So you have your pick of the different hells. The communal worship is not prominent in Hinduism. They worship in their household shrines. They accept all religions as being true. Hinduism emphasizes nonviolence, humility, inner peace, meditation, mindfulness, and the renunciation of materialism. And as the oldest religion, you can see some of these things manifested in the other religions and philosophies. It's kind of interesting. There is a neighbor love quote from Hinduism that one of our class members is going to read now.
This is the sum of duty. Do not unto others which would cause pain if done to you.
Do not do to others what will cause pain if done to you. So our next religion over there, everybody turn around, you're going to turn your head bottom, sorry. That one is Shinto. Shinto is the religion, and you can think Japan when you look at that one. It does look kind of Japanese, doesn't it? In Shinto, there is no primary supreme deity, no central text, no founder, revered teacher, no rigid set of doctrines. And before other religions came to Japan, Shinto was it. In fact, it didn't even have a name, because that's what everybody believed, so they didn't even have to refer to it. That's just what was, which is kind of an interesting concept. But 80,000 Shinto shrines exist in Japan. But only 4 million out of 127 million Japanese call themselves Shintoists today, despite the fact that their culture is saturated in Shinto rituals and ideas. It's not an exclusive religion. You can be a Shintoist and a Buddhist at the same time. They started sometime between 3rd century BC and 400 AD. In 1868, it became the state religion of Japan. They believed that man by nature is inherently good, and the world in which we live is good. Shinto means the way of gods. It centers on a godlike spirits known as the kami, and revering these kami and maintaining a harmonious relationship between nature and people are central tenets of Shinto. There is no separation between the material world and the spiritual world in Shinto. We're born in a state of purity, but two things can cause impurity: personal acts of sin that are within our control, and external factors that are out of our control, like touching the dead or a natural disaster or sickness. They say we must be purified from these things by rituals to restore both the person and the community. There is no idea of reward or punishment from one life to the next. And the neighborly love quote from Shinto is,
"Be charitable to all beings. Love is the representative of God."
love is the representative of God. So then we move on to Judaism. Everybody knows what the symbol of Judaism, right? The Star of David. It is one of the oldest monotheistic religions, gave birth to Christianity and Islam. It has a little under 20 million adherents. Unlike most other religions, Judaism passes down by blood. Many who don't practice it still consider themselves Jewish just by the fact that their parents are Jewish. And beginning around 1800 BC, with the earliest stories regarding Abraham, we hear that there is only one God. The Jewish folks have persisted despite exile and expulsion and persecution and the Holocaust. Many scholars believe Judaism wasn't the first monotheistic religion. They would say that Zoroastrianism, the one we're going to talk about next, was. The Star of David only goes back to the 18th century. So that star that we all associate with Judaism really only goes back to the 18th century. Before that, the menorah or the shofar, the ram's horn, was their symbol. But now we all associate it with the Star of David. Jewish ethics come from the Hebrew Bible, of course, and their commentaries and teachings. They include respect for God, righteous attitudes, honesty, peace, humility, generosity, compassion for other humans, and care for the living creatures. The Ten Commandments given to Moses by God are of central importance. And Jews don't believe that we are born into sin. We can all choose to obey the commandments, or not. We all have free will. Personal salvation is not emphasized. Salvation is not about achieving paradise and afterlife. Salvation is not from a certain belief or a simple decision. It is about relationship with God and humanity. And it's more about God's relationship with the entire Jewish nation. They focus more on this life than the afterlife, though the soul is eternal. And life does continue after death. The neighbor quote from Judaism is,
"What is hateful to you, do not to your neighbor." That is the whole of the Torah. All the rest is commentary.
and so we move on to this cool-looking flag right here. Everybody turn, that's Zoroastrianism. Easy for me to say. They believe the supreme creator of the universe is good. Evil exists in the world due to his wicked adversary. We have to choose between good and evil in this religion. Souls live on after death, and they are judged for their deeds. The righteous are rewarded with eternal paradise with the Creator. And those who embrace wickedness and do evil will be punished in a dark abyss. You know, as I go through these, you might notice in Zoroastrianism, there are a lot of parallels with Christianity. Those who embrace wickedness and do evil will be punished in a dark abyss where the evil one lives. And as I mentioned, it sounds kind of like Christianity, Islam, even Judaism. Zoroastrianism predates Christianity and Islam. In fact, the parts of this religion sound an awful lot like them. As I mentioned, scholars think it may have existed even way earlier than those religions. They're not sure exactly when it started, but it was founded by the prophet Zoroaster. It was once one of the biggest, most influential religions in the world. And today, adherents are a small number of folks in Iran and India, but its influence can be seen in several religions. Some scholars say it probably has had more influence on humankind directly and indirectly than any other single faith. Zoroaster means the undiluted star or the shining light. And some people think the wise men that we spoke of just a couple of Sundays ago in Epiphany were Zoroastrian priests who would be looking for a Messiah at that time. It's definitely possible. Despite the polytheistic culture around him, Zoroaster was an early monotheist. And during a ritualistic bath in a river, kind of like a baptism, a being of light appeared to him and brought him into the presence of the one creator of all that is good. And this is how he became a monotheist. Ahura Mazda, which means wise Lord, was the supreme God. He was in cosmic battle with the source of all evil. And the hope was that Mazda, along with a messianic figure, would finally defeat the evil one, and this would bring about a restored world, free from evil and chaos, followed by the resurrection of the dead and the final judgment. The evil one's brother was his opposite, and served as kind of the Holy Spirit for Mazda. As the religion evolved, his brother spent to remind you, the Holy Spirit, became more and more associated with Mazda. And as far as creation goes, these guys, Mazda and Manyu, this God and the Holy Spirit existed before creation of the world. Mazda dwelled in the light and created a world of bright goodness, and the evil one dwelled in the darkness. The primordial man was created from mud in Zoroastrianism. It's a deeply moral religion. We are responsible for our actions from one moment to the next. It has holy scriptures called the Avesta. And the neighborly love quote from Zoroastrianism is,
"That nature alone is good, which refrains from doing to another whatsoever is not good for itself."
so then we move on to Buddhism. It's based on some pretty straightforward concepts. According to Buddha's teachings, life is filled with suffering. Ignorance and desire cause that suffering. If you get rid of the ignorance and the desire, then you can be released from the suffering. And that's the core of their belief. It started in India, it spread throughout the East. With 500 million adherents, it's now the world's fourth largest religion. Initially, it evolved out of Hinduism, but they parted on the belief of an unchanging soul. The Buddha, a human teacher who was believed to have attained enlightenment, rejected the concept of one supreme God. He didn't find much use for all of Hinduism's multiple deities. So he created something else. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, constructed a philosophy. The ethics are guided by a belief in the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of meditation and self-discipline. Now, not to make light of this religion, but there is that joke. I don't know if you've heard it. The Buddhist monk goes up to the hot dog stand and says, "Oh, make me one with everything." And then the hot dog vendor looks at him and says, "Okay," makes him a hot dog, hands it to him. The Buddhist monk holds out his hand, he gives him a $20 bill, and he holds out his hand for change. And he's just waiting. And the hot dog vendor says, "Ah, change must come from within." Kind of a good way to think about it, I think. The Buddhist idea is that we follow what is called the middle way between luxury and austerity. The marks of Buddhism are peace and tolerance and a moral conduct that leads to happiness. And it began around the 5th century BC. The Buddha believed we could escape the cycle of life and death, but not through the Hindu way, the moksha, but through reaching the state of nirvana. I was just seeing if you were waving. The state of nirvana. This is the absence of greed and suffering and even personality. For him, ultimate reality is nothingness, and it's achieved through human effort, not worship of deities. Buddha means what? You know what Buddha means? The enlightened one. And he no longer feared suffering and death. When you become enlightened, then you don't. All of us can attain enlightenment if we work at it. It's kind of like an awakening. As I said, he taught the middle way between indulgence and asceticism, through which one could discover the release from suffering. The Dalai Lama is a revered Buddhist monk. Buddhism is non-theistic. There is no belief in a supreme creator. Some people argue that Buddhism shouldn't even be called a religion, that it's more of a philosophy. And if you're wondering, Buddha is not elevated to a godlike status. Buddha rejected the idea of eternal soul. He thought that viewing the self independently from the universe is a delusion. He taught that we reach an ever-changing consciousness with each reincarnation. Buddhists do believe in karma. Remember back to Hinduism? They believe in karma. And what we do in this life can relieve or bring about suffering, depending on what we do in the next life. Death leads to rebirth in Buddhist thought. Not until one reaches nirvana, or liberation, can that suffering end. The Buddhists emphasize peace and mindfulness, and this is attractive to the West. You've probably heard people talk about this. And the neighbor love quote from Buddhism is,
"Hurt not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful."
and then we move to Christianity. There are more than 2 billion adherents to our religion, making us the most widely practiced religion in the world, and arguably the most diverse. We came from Judaism, right? Focuses on the last few years of Jesus' life in 1st century Palestine. For the last 2,000 years, it's dominated Western culture. And at its inception, the Jews were awaiting the Messiah, a powerful political leader who would unify Israel, rebuild the temple, and liberate them from all of the Romans. Jesus' ethical code could be said to be based on love for one's neighbor. Jesus preached about the kingdom of God and impending judgment. He was executed, crucified by Rome, and on the 3rd day, resurrected. Christianity is declining in America. A Pew Research poll shows that as of 2015, the number of adults claiming to be Christian fell by 8% over the last 7 years. The number of adults in America claiming to be Christian fell 8% over just 7 years. The number of religiously unaffiliated Americans grew by the same amount. So people are saying they are not affiliated with any religion. The good news is that Christianity is thriving in developing countries. And our neighbor love quote, one of our neighbor love quotes from Christianity is,
In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets.
And from Christianity, we move to that one, which is what? Islam. Why are those? Islam is the world's fastest growing faith. Fastest growing faith. Second only to Christianity as far as the world's largest religion. It began in 622 AD in the Arabian Peninsula in an area where polytheism was mainly practiced. It is the newest among the three most popular religions, Judaism and Christianity. All three faiths began in the Middle East. All three believe God is revealed through chosen prophets. All three honor such important biblical folks like Noah and Abraham and Moses. And Muslims even honor Jesus as a great prophet who is sent by Allah. Allah is believed to be the same God worshipped by Jews and Christians. They believe in the bodily resurrection, the coming day of judgment, the spiritual realms complete with angels and demons, and the afterlife is divided into heaven and hell. They believe that God's revelation given to Prophet Muhammad was God's final, uncorrupted word given to humankind. Abraham was the first Muslim. It's interesting, when my brother got married in Turkey, he married a Turkish gal in Istanbul. I went to one of the famous museums there, and in the museum was this black stuff. And when I read the inscription, I realized this was supposed to be the hair from Abraham's beard. They have that in this museum that is really revering, the Islamic faith. And that's when I realized the connection. They recognize Moses. They call him Musa. And the Ten Commandments, although they have their own commandments in the Quran. And in the Quran, Moses is mentioned more than any other prophet. And the lives of Moses and Muhammad have several parallels as you read the Quran. They believe that Jesus was divinely conceived, but that he was not the Son of God. They believe Jesus did not die as a result of crucifixion, but that Allah raised him to himself, and that he ascended into heaven. And they believe that Jesus foretold the coming of Muhammad. The word Islam means surrender. Personal submission to the will of Allah is the heart of the faith. In their creation story in the Qumran, God created the universe in 6 days. They even have an Adam and Eve story that is somewhat similar to ours. The 5 pillars of Islam, the minimum religious obligations, are the profession of faith, the daily prayer, the almsgiving, the fasting during Ramadan, and the pilgrimage to Mecca. There are 2 main branches of Islam, the Shia and the Sunni branches. And Muslims believe that Allah creates our physical bodies and then breathes our soul into us. And when we die, we will experience judgment and either be rewarded with paradise or cast into punishment, an eternal hell realm of fire. In Arabic, jihad, we hear a lot about jihad these days. Jihad means struggle, and it refers to our duty to fight evil in the name of Allah. It takes several forms, anything from actual warfare to speaking out against oppression and injustice. All of life is a form of jihad against sin in their perspective. Muhammad said jihad in battle was much less important than spiritual jihad. He was about spiritual jihad. Personal internal struggle and individual wages against his or her own wicked tendencies. Now, for a few extremists, jihad has evolved into this concept that is mainly militant and external. But this is what's produced Al-Qaeda and ISIS and those kinds of things. But these are extremists. The neighbor love quote from Islam is,
"Not one of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself."
and then we finally come to this one. Does anybody know what this one is? You guys can't answer. This is the Baha'i faith, right? Less than 2 centuries old. Its roots are in Islam. One of the most widespread and fastest growing religions today. It has a presence in almost every nation on earth. Their teachings focus on worldwide peace and unity. World Religion Day originated in the Baha'i faith. It recognizes some of humanity's deepest prejudices come from religious differences. And you may have noticed yesterday, I think it was yesterday, at the Interfaith prayer service that the president attended, there was a Baha'i prayer. It respects all religious prophets as divine messengers in an ongoing revelation from God. Believers work to eliminate economic injustice, reduce racial and ethnic bigotry, and promote gender equality wherever possible. There are no priests, no sacraments. It holds its members to a high level of personal morality and community involvement. Baha'i means followers of glory. Baha'u'llah, the founder of the religion, rejected claims of Orthodox Islam and taught that God had sent a succession of messengers, including Zoroaster, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad, to create religions that were appropriate to the time and the place in which they began. Each religion in Scripture offered some truth and built upon previous revelations. Baha'u'llah was the newest prophet of God, and others would come after him as God's message continues to unfold. They see God's ultimate message to the world not as religious conflict, but as global unity and peace. It is monotheistic religion, believes that, like the Creator, the universe is eternal with no beginning or end. The beauty and the diversity of the natural world is an expression of the Creator's attributes, and knowledge of God can be gained by studying the created world. We are not to worship nature, but as stewards of the earth, we should maintain respect for the environment and take care of our natural resources. God uses progressive revelation to teach religious truth to humanity, and that's why we get a series of messengers appropriate to the various times and places. These prophets and divine messengers are considered to be manifestations of God, including Abraham, Moses, Zoroaster, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, the Bab, and Baha'u'llah. The Bab sounds really interesting to me. It teaches that all the world's holy texts should be respected. I keep thinking of that movie, What About Bob? Sorry. My ADD's getting to me. All humans have an eternal soul, and that they are equal in God's eyes in this religion. Unity of humanity should be pursued above all else, while still celebrating and maintaining its diversity. Servants of God should oppose inequality and prejudice in all forms. They are to avoid alcohol and tobacco and mind-altering drugs. Gossip is harmful. No sex outside of marriage. It's all about the unity of humankind. And interestingly, the Baha'i teachings forbid the practice of partisan politics. The Baha'is see all peoples and nations as part of one family. And so the neighbor love quote for the Baha'i faith is,
And if thine eyes be turned toward justice, choose thou for thy neighbor that which thou choosest for thyself.
we also have a reading for the Native American faith. Would someone like to read that?
All things are our relatives. What we do to everything, we do to ourselves. All is really one.
And so you can hear in all these religions a common respect, and even love for our fellow human being, man and woman. And on this we can agree.